Martha Mier is an American-born composer known for her contributions to educational repertoire aimed at helping students develop at the piano. She graduated from Florida State University with honors and resides currently in Florida. She is most well known for composing Jazz, Rag, and Blues, which is a book series written for Alfred Music. And while a lot of her music focuses on the elementary level of playing, she did write for all levels, helping to develop technique at the piano. The piece I will be presenting today will be Sneaky Business, which is from her book Jazz, Rag, and Blues, Book 1, that was published back in 1992. It is rated as an RCM Level 1 piece. Like many RCM Level 1 pieces, one of the main focuses of this piece is hand independence. And this is done through an ABA structure in the form of the piece, with the A section utilizing an ostinato bass line, while the B section has a chordal texture. You can see here in measure 10, that's where the kind of ostinato bass line switches into the more chordal texture. And having these two different approaches helps to simplify hand independence and either give the student a pattern to follow with the ostinato or provide a slower rhythm to follow, making it a little bit easier. There also exists syncopation in the melody in a lot of measures, such as measure 5, where the student has to come in on the and of beat 1 rather than on the downbeat, which may be an unusual sensation for a lot of beginner students. There are also a lot of dynamics written throughout the piece, almost in every single system, and there are crescendos, decrescendos leading away from them, showing the phrase structure of the piece, helping the student to develop a natural sense of phrasing without giving them everything. Some of the technique that will be required for this piece is arm weight. There are a lot of different articulations from staccato, accents, legatos, and those staccatos are going to require a much lighter arm weight, much lighter touch than say the accents, which are going to require more arm weight into the piano. There's also the prevalence of two-note slurs, as can be seen in say measure 14, which can be used to practice a down-up wrist motion, which will help to keep the student from accenting that second note or falling into it. And what isn't shown in this excerpt here, but does exist, is the development of finger independence, where one finger has to hold a note while the other fingers play more notes. It's also going to be important for the student to maintain a loose wrist throughout this piece, as there are chords that pop up, and it's important to make sure that wrist is loose so the chords play without sounding strained and still producing a beautiful tone. Some extra difficulties that may come from this piece would be there's a lot of chromaticism throughout, so it might be important for the student to mark the different sharps throughout the piece and when the sharps go back to natural, so that they don't try to play what was previously written, but is actually what is currently written. And as I also mentioned earlier, it's going to be important to keep a fluid wrist with the different motions needed to play through this piece, as well as having arm weight combined with those wrist motions to create appropriate articulations, what the measure calls for. And now I will be playing this piece on piano.